The Justin Clark story is a very good one, and he's played some great footy this year. Just tell us, how do you find guys like that? I mean, and how much does your system need to be working to be able to pick out a player like Clark?
Yeah, well, Justin, there was a little bit of talk about Justin playing at Boolaroo early in the season in which he was turning 18 years of age, and he came down to qualify for the draft and played a half of footy in the SANFL reserves. And we had scouts at that game, and they said, oh, we thought this young fella showed a bit, playing on a half-back flank. We had a look at the footage, and you could see some nice attributes there. And then from there on, we just made sure, and our South Australian scouts, to their credit, were very, very positive and quite strong on him. And so we made sure that we always we weren't losing touch with his development that year. People went and watched him play a fair bit up at Boolaroo. I don't think we were the only club who was having a look at him, but we were certainly in a situation where we were very keen to get another tall onto our list. He wasn't selected in the national draft. As soon as that was the case, we invited him up to Brisbane to do basically 10 days of training with us. And after the warm-up on his first session, he said that's the hardest thing he's ever done at footy training. So that's just an indication of how far back he was coming from. But he had a terrific attitude, and that was one of the things that we were looking for. A big step from country footy in South Australia, but he had the attitude, the application, smart kid, and just really applied himself. So we were more than happy to take the punt on him with our first pick in the rookie draft of that year. And at the moment, he's a country boy, along with another country boy in Sam Doherty, who's starting to cement a tight group in that defensive half of the Lions.
The NEAFL competition is only in its infancy. How have you found it, and how's it been for obviously being able to get a great news story like Dane Zorko out of that system?
Well, the NEAFL is an interesting story. It's only been around a couple of years. The first couple of years, say 2010, 2011, we really struggled to actually compete. Again, if we had a few injuries, we were battling to compete at that level. The rules were such that they limited the number of players we could play on the ground. A year later, when we brought in a lot of young talent, and also were allowed to play an extra player, we pretty much dominated the competition last year. Currently the NAFL's under review, and they're looking at restructuring it, because I think the view's been formed that perhaps the strength of the competition has been diluted a little too much. So there's probably going to be some rationalisation of clubs, which is a benefit for us because it'll mean there's more competition on a regular basis. And you know, we can have some very good games at NAFL level, Southport, Northern Territory, the other AFL clubs, but then there can be some games where the competition's not what you'd like it to be. It's producing some players. Dane obviously had been around and won best and fairest at Broadbeach, and we went to watch Niall McKeever, who's on our list, play a game for Queensland against Western Australia, and Dane had a standout game and really showed some great AFL attributes. So followed him from there. Other players who've made their spot way onto AFL lists, Tom Bell and Adam Oxley to Collingwood. So it's producing a few players, but I think if we can tighten it up a little bit and concentrate the capability and the talented players into fewer clubs, it'll be even better.
Rob, thanks very much for your time today, and good luck for the future for the Lions.
Great, thanks very much, Terry.